God Talk Unfiltered.
Thank you. So as usual, I don't always come with something to say, but I often end up saying something anyways. So the poll that we have here was suggested by me last night we had a meeting last night to plan for this event, and also for the event that we'll be doing in Clawson coming up next month. And the date of that is October 21st in Clawson. Will be popping up at a restaurant there called Black Lotus. So little advertisement there if you feel like taking a drive and joining us. It should be a really interesting evening. So the poll that you see is, if forced to choose regret or embarrassment. So I suggested this as a poll question because it's something I ask my students. I'm a music teacher. I'm a choir teacher. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And at this point of the year, we are getting ready for our first gig. It's on Thursday. We're performing at Heritage Park in Taylor. And my students, basically the first 3.5 weeks of school are boot camp. You know, I get them to learn how to sing with good tone and good diction, and they learn about their vocal mechanism. They learn, most importantly though, to trust each other. And part of that process is that we'll have a few solos on our songs. Stand By Me is one of them. I did a little arrangement of it, and there's 4 solos in it. And I have one of my groups that has about like 70 7th and 8th grade girls. They're singing that song, and they're split into 2 classes, and each of those classes on Friday, we ran auditions. Now, we had also already done open mic night. Open mic is where I let them come up with a friend, 2 mics out, and then we play the music, and they can sing along and just kind of get used to being on the mic. And I tell them how important it is that they support each other and that there never be a bad word to somebody about how they sing. And the reason why you applaud every single person that comes up is because if you do, then they'll come up again. And if they come up again, they'll get better. And when they get better, your choir gets better. This is a basic thing of my classroom that I reinforce in those first few weeks. And part of that first, after we've done our open mic, then we come to solo audition day. And the kids have to choose. I let them encourage each other, but I don't let them physically pull each other up because they will. And they have to decide to come up onto the microphone and try. They have to do it on their own. And then while they're there, the rules are that everybody has to be quiet and still and give applause. And I'm at my computer typing as they sing. And I'm taking notes on their volume, their accuracy, their style, and then things to give back to them. To let them know how they did. So one of the things I tell them is, once we get through the auditions, this is back on Friday, and it looks like the people that haven't gone yet are going to sit on their hands and decide not to do it. Once we get there, I give a little speech, and I say, you need to realize that if you're thinking about coming up, you need to think ahead in your day to the time when you lay down and you finally look up at the ceiling in your bed and you're thinking about your day. And when your mind comes back to this moment, you need to decide, will you regret not trying? And I tell them, if you know that you're going to regret it, then you have a choice, and that is either face potential embarrassment of coming up or the regret of knowing you didn't. And I tell them that for me, there's no contest. I will always choose the embarrassment over the regret. You know, that's me. That's who I am. But you know, I try to live my life in a way that avoids regret because I've been there and it's not nice. This is a little thing, but it's one way that I encourage them to fight their fear. That's one of our little chants too. Fight your fear. fight your fear. We say it. And the kids encourage each other, and it always ends up being a really good thing. But the reason I wanted to say this today is that this is a weird segue. Death has been on my mind a lot. I feel like I've talked to a lot of people who are dealing with end of life or death right now. Today, last week, one of my students who was suspended during the first week of school, sweet girl, I've known for 2 years, I'm her favorite teacher. My assistant principal even emailed me and said, she talked to you because she loves you, which is what she told him. But sweet girl got suspended the first couple weeks of school. Apparently she brought a knife. And she finally came back, and she was there, and then and she confided in me that this summer her dad had unexpectedly died. Just, I don't know all the details, but it was unexpected and just a huge blow, and I'm sure it had something to do with the acting out. And then today, there's another student whose mom was in my first class when I was teaching. I've had a few of these. Okay, so this is year 24 for me. I had another student who auditioned on Friday and gave a really nice audition. She did not get the part among the kids in her class, but before I announced the soloists today, I gave the kids a paper pencil theory assignment, and I called the kids up, every kid that auditioned, I called them up one by one, and I gave them here's what I heard, here's what you did, and here's what I think you need to work on to improve. And it's always very positive, and I'm trying to help build them up and show them that they can be the artist that I know they can. So the girl whose mom I had taught, I got an email that at lunch, just before I had her in class, and it was her uncle was laid down for a nap and died over the weekend. Really just, yeah. So I don't know why that's been on my mind, but I don't know why I can think of 4 other examples right now of things that are just right there in my face about death. One of my best friends from high school, texted me today that she had just been diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. So I don't know. It seems like it's right here. So I don't have a good conclusion to the story. The different things kind of came together in my mind. I decided to tell you about it. At any rate, I guess if I were to leave a takeaway, I see that right now 56% chose regret over 44% for embarrassment. Think about that. Think about it. Think about the cost of regret, especially when life is so short. All right, that's what I had to say. Thanks.